What's up, everyone? Get through this parking here. I'm all crunched up here. Hold on, everyone. I'll get to my topic as soon as I get out of this parking spot. Anyways, how's it going, everyone? This is the Contra Chicano. Another hot day out here in the San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles. The topic is martial arts, uh, sparring versus street reality. So, so I see there's kind of like a debate amongst martial artists, self-defense guys, sport, you know, sport martial arts and stuff like that, and you got some of these YouTube guys on here who actually train martial arts, self-defense. Some of them actually they have different perspectives, but I see some of these YouTube guys. They even did like a competition of self-defense and everything. Like, and they try to see who was the best and this and that. And some of them they claim that sparring is the only way, for a real good martial art self-defense. You got to be sparring, and they talk about pressure testing and stuff like that. So they kind of like dismiss martial arts that don't pressure test and spar, and they say it's all fake and this and that, and then you got the other side of the opposing side that says that sparring can do only so much, that when you're out in the streets you don't have pads and gloves and there's no referee, and the floor is concrete, and it's a different reality. So my take on this is maybe somewhere in the middle. I don't agree with the guys that say sparring is the only way, because there's only so much that you can do with sparring. And it's obviously true that the reality of street combat, street fighting, is different, you know. And I also noticed that there's a difference even between MMA, like UFC, versus bare knuckle fighting. Like, if you actually seen bare knuckle matches, it's more brutal, in my opinion. Some people say, "Oh, there's no difference. That there's no difference. That only thing is that you get cut up and bleed more in bare knuckle." But from my observation of what goes on in the bare knuckle fights, they're trying to avoid hits. Any little hit will really do damage to them. Like, you get hit in the eye, and that can even stop the fight right there. Like, but if you have a glove and you get hit in the eye, it's not as damaging. Just go and like type up on YouTube bare knuckle fights and everything. So the reality of street fight is bare knuckle, and it's not like you have pads on, right? But in the street fight, there's no referees, there's no rules, anything goes, right? Now, some may object and say, well, if you spar, you'll become a better fighter, right? And if you're trained in sparring, you'll have an advantage over someone who's not trained in sparring in the street. And I agree on that. I do agree that sparring does definitely help. It helps with your reactions, your movements, your defense, offense, whatever. But then you sometimes it depends on the fighter. You could train all you want. And I've seen some hardcore, brutal street fighters that come out and just knock the shit out of of a MMA trained fighter. Or you could train all you want, and then they get a lucky punch in there, right? And so you can't. It all depends on the fighter and what's going on. So, um, like for example, Tank Abbott, when he came into the UFC, he wasn't really trained in anything. He considered himself like a street fighter, right? And he was coming in the UFC and just mauling everybody, except for some, right? Very, the ones that did beat him. But he was doing pretty good, and he didn't really have much training, and so that just tells you, like, everyone's different. Some people have a powerful punch. Some people are faster than others. They're just used to fighting, and they slug it out and everything, right? But here's the thing, though. If you do train, like for example, the military combat type guys, which I really like, they teach you dirty fighting, right? You can't dirty fight in the UFC, right? They ban certain things, right? Although sometimes it does happen, and you see that fights end up in the advantage of someone who dirty fights. For example, I seen clips of John Jones eye gouging people at times, and he ends up winning the fight because of that, right? Sometimes you see boxers or MMA guys, they get hit in the nuts, right? And they have to stop the fight, right? Or they have to, but in the street reality, if you're fighting a military combat guy and he hits you in the nuts, there's no referee. There's no, okay, I'm going to stop the match. No, he's going to go in for the smash, right? He's going to go in for the attack, So the reality of street fighting is different from, say, a UFC ring referee. Not only that, that beforehand that, okay, we agree to certain rules. We agree, we're going to fight each other. But out in the streets, it's a surprise. You don't know how skilled your opponent is, right? And then whatever happens, happens, It's not like an agreement, right? So my take is this, is like, okay, training's good, but don't think that sparring is the only way, right? Sparring is good, but don't think that it does have its limitations, though. When you have gloves on, and even when you block with gloves, like, it's easier to block with gloves, but when you don't have gloves and you're bare knuckled, there's not a lot of volume that your hands take up, So sometimes when you block, if you're weak with a punch like this, if you're trying to block like this, there's not much that, he could go through you, right? Somehow there could be some space there. So it's a different reality, right? Trying to find some parking here. It's just really hard to find parking here. So let me actually back up here. I myself, I train martial arts. I do Jeet Kune Do. I've done a lot of different martial arts, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the past, under the Machado, Silverado, Krav Maga, Kapap. I've done a lot of different things. I'm mainly a grappler, but I've been working on my striking and also dirty fighting, especially with Jeet Kune Do and Krav Maga and stuff like that. But just don't let these guys out here on YouTube persuade you that that the street self-defense, military combat, or stuff like Jeet Kune Do and Krav Maga is is fake or useless, and it's not. It's actually very useful, and these guys think that just sparring is the only way, and then they come across someone that say does know how to spar, but then ends up doing some dirty fighting, and they end up losing in the street, man. So, anyways, well, it's good to learn a lot of stuff, man. And to me, don't be hating on every martial arts, every self-defense has its pros and cons, its strengths and weaknesses. So, like Bruce Lee says, it's you take what's you what's useful to you, and and what's practical, and definitely. And I'm not really dissing MMA, because MMA means mixed martial arts. Before it became a sport, it was actually either a traditional martial art or it was a military combat. For example, Muay Thai. Muay Thai wasn't always sport, right? Muay Thai was it was part of tradition as well as a military combat as well. And there's actually a dirtier form of Muay Thai than the sport version. And a lot of these Muay Thai military men know that kind of dirty Muay Thai stuff. And so, so yeah, I mean, I've done Muay Thai as well, Muay Thai Academy, and I've also, oh yeah, I forgot, I did Muay Thai as well. And I've also learned Muay Thai dirty fighting as well. So, anyways, man, to me, it's like learn all forms of martial arts, and whatever is good for you, man. Take it and use it, in terms of self-defense when you have to defend yourself. Anyways, I got to get going. You guys have a good day. See you later.